looking towards Odegaard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello, welcome to the Rotherham United podcast. Today we are going to be doing the preview of Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wednesday night. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock kickoff, so earlier than the normal kickoff against Middlesbrough. Neil Warnock, Middlesbrough. We have myself, Matt, we have Mick and Ben.
Hello.
How has it been without a weekend without Rotherham United? Because for me, it's been boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, to be fair, but you know, we've got Wednesday to look forward to tonight, and let's be fair, it's Sunday night we're recording this, and Wednesday's play tonight. Hopefully, I'm going to go against everything, every fibre of my being, and I'm going to be cheering Wednesday on tonight. I do hope they win. I'd love them to have a really good cup run. Take their eyes off the league, obviously. Just take one more team out of our. They'll get through, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We have had one game. We've always moved to us, more to Rotherham. There has been one game in the Championship this weekend, and it went as bad as it could have done. Derby County beat QPR 1-0, which now puts a 5-point gap between us in third bottom and Derby County in fourth bottom. With I think it's now 3 games in hand. I think at least 2 anyway.
Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah, so it's not ideal, Ben. But with the games in hand, it's not the end of the world. But it just puts more pressure on, doesn't it?
It's not ideal, but we've got the same goal difference as Derby and Forest, who are 5 points ahead, and we've got 3 games in hand. Bearing in mind, one of them's against Derby. If we win against Derby, our game in hand, right? We're level on points. We were out of the relegation zone, still with 3 games in hand on Derby. We are in such a good position.
Yeah, I mean that's more positive than I can be at the minute, but it's not a terrible position.
I think it's a good position. 3 games in hand, any game in hand when you're down there is massive. 3 games in hand is ridiculous. Saying that, if we get beat and we still go 6 points, let's say, still got 3 games in hand. So,
yeah.
You might be right, man.
Yeah, I mean we're in a bit of form, aren't we, at the moment, and that's key. You know, we've been playing really, really well in virtually every game. So, and I know, and like I said, we played a top side in Stoke City, despite the fact I said they were absolutely crap. They proved me wrong. You know what I mean? And I've got to swallow a bit of humble pie on that one, I guess, because they were a decent side. They played really, really well, and I think, you know, we were well. We our form against them and in the. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I can't string a sentence together. What is wrong with me? We're on a decent run of form, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So we'll edit all that bit out, okay, and just put Mick says we're on a decent run of form. There you go.
There you go. Thanks for that. That were concise, clear, quick.
Yeah. You Thank you. You're welcome.
We go to Middlesbrough, and it feels like I do this every week, but I'm going to tell you again, we've got a horrendous record against Middlesbrough. The last time that we won in Middlesbrough was 1965, which I assume would have been Ayresome Park. Was that Middlesbrough?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was.
Do you remember that game, Nick?
Yeah, it's long in memory because it was an 8-goal thriller.
It wasn't 8 goals. 5-3. Yeah, 1-5-3.
No, it's 1-5-3.
3-5, apparently.
Well, obviously because we were an away team. Bearing in mind we were playing in Middlesbrough. I think I were about 3 weeks old at the time. So yeah, I remember it reasonably well.
A good omen is that, although that's a terrible omen, not once 1965. In our last game against Derby away, we hadn't won in Derby since 1965.
Yeah,
and we went and beat them. A couple other ones this season. I mean, we hadn't beat Wednesday in nearly 44 years. We then beat Wednesday, and even with Wickham, we hadn't beat Wickham for 19 years, and we went away and beat Wickham. So we're in a year. We're taking advantage of the crazy year or so it's been and breaking some of our ridiculous records. So why not on Wednesday? Why can't we not go the good thing on Wednesday and show them up? Why not?
Yeah. It's a tough place to go, isn't it? When it's full, that place. It's a fantastic stadium, and when it's full, it's not an easy place to go. So hopefully, that might make things a little bit easier. But obviously, it's a Neil Warnock side. Never going to be easy to break down, are they? Never.
No. They come in at a very indifferent run of form. They've won 2 and lost 3 of their last 5 games, including a 1-0 defeat on Sunday afternoon to Blackburn. So they're not coming in the best of forms, which is obviously very good for us. But like I say, it's Neil Warnock team, Ben. It's difficult. With the Warnock teams, you don't really know what to expect, other than it's going to be difficult. They could be fantastic and players off park, but then they could just turn up one week and just not be bothered, and it'll be a comfortable win for us.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it because it's Warnock. If he gets some more, if he gets it right and motivates him rightly, we've got no chance. Because it's Warnock. He is the motivator of football. Do you know what I mean? So they're not going to come here and play some tiki-taka genius Bielsa football. It's going to be a scrap. That's what Warnock's teams are. We've got some good players for a scrap. Obviously, we've got that stereotype that we're like a fight for some reason.
I noticed that from Mr. O'Neill. He said that we were a really direct side.
Yeah,
that's his quote. Yeah, where does it? What's he talking about?
What do you mean? What's he on about?
Well, I mean, what's he talking about? Are you saying? Is he saying? Is anybody going to tell me that when we played Stoke the other night that we were a long ball side?
I would say so.
You would? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't say we're a long ball team.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. So anyway, I don't know what. Sorry, Ben, I interrupted you there. It just. I remembered something which is unusual for me. But yeah, carry on.
I can't hear what I was saying. Yeah, we're like a fight. So we've got some players for that. Obviously, Lindsay, Smith, Wood. So yeah, it's going to be a scrap, especially on a Wednesday night as well. So
yeah.
What's a Wednesday night going to do with it?
Well, it's different. It's different atmosphere, different feel to the game, innit? Okay. I know what I meant. Does that make sense? That makes sense to me.
I think with fans in, I think I agree with fans in. I think it could be playing 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't think it makes much of a difference. We'll see.
I think playing 3 o'clock in the morning make a difference, but
well, it would it? Because you'd still be prepared. You just sleep patterns would be different. It'd still be,
I suppose.
So there you go. They're coming to dodge a bit of form. This 5 games in form, they've played some average teams. They lost to Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham, but then they beat Wickham and Forest, and obviously lost to Blackburn as well.
Not hard to beat Wickham, though, is it? Let's be real.
Yeah, but they lost to Wednesday.
Yeah.
And Forest. And Birmingham. And Birmingham are terrible at the minute.
Birmingham are down there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
They're really, really inconsistent. But we'll soon find out about that. A couple of sort of stats on next appearances, which we'll come on to now, and then we'll talk about the game. Ben Wiles will be making his 75th league appearance if he starts, if he plays, which you assume he will. A couple more. Let me just reel them all off, then we can go through them all. Clark Robertson will be his 50th game for the Millers, assuming he does play, which we'll come on to that, because that may be an area of change for us on Wednesday. Wes Harding will be playing his 75th game in the Championship. And one last one, which may take a few weeks to come through, is Matt Crooks is 1 goal away from 20 for the club in all competitions. Which is pretty good when he's not been here for very long.
It went a million miles off getting 20 and 21 other night, would it, to be fair?
That's true.
Which, incredible.
Where, Ben, if anywhere, would you be making changes to the team?
Play it back. I'd take Robertson. Take what's his name? McDonald out. Put Robertson in. Apart from that, unless Chio's back, which I know he's back, I don't know if he won't be obviously starting 11, but he might be on bench. Same with Sadler. So I think he does need to change it about because it's 3 games in a row now, but they've had a week's break, so maybe not. I think if I were Paul Warren, I'd bring Robertson in, and probably that's it to start with. But I'd make some subs at half time because it's 3 games in a row with that same team.
We're a week's break, aren't we?
I was just thinking about it. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm still going to say it. Robertson in for McDonald's, and that's it. Maybe something to do with keepers. I don't know. Flip a coin or something.
You're very easy to convince something else. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, I did suggest one thing, and Ben goes, actually.
Well, you made a good point. You made a good point.
Thanks, mate. That's what I'm here for.
You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome.
So you'll be making not wholesale changes, but several changes.
You are.
So you'd be making changes.
Ben?
Yeah, I met one. I'd met one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Maybe keeper. On who's playing well in training.
You drop Blackman?
Well, I don't know. He shouldn't have dropped the answer first time, but he shouldn't have dropped Blackman first time. So it's like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, flip a coin.
I think we are. Man with the shirt. Mick, I assume, assuming Robertson can get through 90 minutes, for me, it would be a swap. I think Robertson has shown he's a better player on that position than McDonald. McDonald's. He's sort of dropped off. I think he started off really well and has dropped off to not a terrible level, but an average level. And I think Robertson he just looks better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he does. I think the first question is where's Harding going to be fit? Obviously, he came off having taken a bit of a knock, so that might force his hand a little bit. Team selection is going to be a real toughie from now on. We've got a week left at transfer window, and we've got from as of next Wednesday, we're playing twice a week for something like 8 weeks. So much as I would love him to keep the same squad, he's going to have to rest some players, and unfortunately, at the moment, unless we do some business in this transfer window, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to do because we've got very few, if any, like for like swaps, with the exception of Clark Robertson there, and possibly Curtis Tilt if he stays, or whether he goes back out on loan, I don't know. I personally wouldn't make any changes, but I can see the argument for Clark Robertson to come in. So yeah. That'd be my view.
Jake Kidd on YouTube. We are showing this live. Everybody's not listening. This is going out as the YouTube live, and the podcast will got the same. So Jake Kidd has got in touch on YouTube and agrees that Robertson, if he's fully fit, to start him. I think I agree. I think he gives you more balance because I don't think McDonald's left-footed, and I just think his overall is more dominant in the air. Well.
You just want to see him play as well because we haven't seen him play since last season, basically, innit?
He got injured against.
Because he played first. Did he get injured? Has he played this season apart from obviously past few games?
I can't remember. Got injured against Norwich.
Anyway, we won early games. He's just, I don't know. He just feels more. He's just feels more safe and more. I mean, I've got more comfort when I've got him at back. Yeah. I don't know why, but he just does. And I'd like to see him play because I ain't seen him play in 6-7 months. So I agree with Jake.
Yeah.
He's also coming to end his contract as well, Clark Robertson. So this is it for his time, potentially his time at Rotherham. So he either needs to be he needs to play in games get a new contract here or somewhere else. If he gets injured again, he's not going to get the move that he wants to get at the end of his contract.
That's if he's wanting to move on.
If he's wanting to move on, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, don't know. We'll have to see. I personally, like I said, I don't think I would make any changes. I don't know. Depends on injuries. I'd like to keep things the same, but I do accept what people are saying about Angus MacDonald, and he is a little bit sort of suspect at times. And he's got. I mean, I think he's the highest scoring defender that we've got though as well, isn't he? Unfortunately, in our own net, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, bless him. Midfield 3. Sean McDonald's probably going to be fit now. Even if it's just an hour, he might be fit. So we now have an option to freshen up that midfield. If you include Crooks in it, let's say midfield 4. Crooks is slightly further forward. How tempted would you be, Ben, to rest potentially Wiles or Barlaser or Lindsay and bring McDonald in? It would probably only be for an hour or so. I can't see him being 90 minutes fit a minute, McDonald. But it's still an option.
I'd probably bring him in for Wiles or Lindsay. I don't think Barlas's role is too intense. You know, like we said, that quarterback role. It's not, it's not a Lindsay who's running about for 90 minutes. Lindsay needs rest. He runs about for all game. He's done that 3 games in a row. I think McDonald should come in for him or Wiles. I think Crooks needs to stay in because he's got something to prove. He had a few weeks out, before Christmas because he weren't really playing and stuff like this. And if I were him, I wouldn't want to get took out of the team because it's his first running team he's had all season that I can really remember. A good running team, and he's on a good bit of form. So, yeah, I think either Lindsay or Wiles should come in for, but not play all game like you said, only an hour or so.
Yeah, I agree. It gives something like Lindsay a rest over Wiles because Wiles has played an incredible amount of football. For his age and for where we thought he was in his progression. We all knew he was going to play this season, but I'm shocked he's played as much as he sort of had to, I suppose, because of injuries. But he's stuck to the level fantastic. I think you can't fault Ben Wiles for basically anything this season. I think he's been really good. You think Crooks shouldn't move out, not move out, move place. There's probably going to be a case at some point within the next 6 to 7 weeks where Crooks either can't play or needs a rest. What we're going to do then, Mick, because him and Smith together at the minute, they have to play.
Yeah, I think we've got to hope and keep our fingers crossed that we're able to do some business in this transfer window. I think we always knew with the situation as it is at the moment with COVID and everything else that this was always going to be a last few days transfer window rather than people getting their business done early doors because everybody's sitting waiting to see what's going to happen. First of all, at the beginning of the month, nobody knew whether we were going to end up with another full lockdown, did we? Whether football would get curtailed again. So that was the first thing, and then obviously injuries with a compacted season, COVID as well, taking players out right, left, and centre. Clubs are going to be wanting to hang on to their players until either permanently or certainly until the last minute, until they've got a better idea what's happening. So yeah, we're going to have to do some business. Otherwise, I don't know what options we have got. I don't. Other than those two at the moment, Hursty's not doing it. We've discussed this, God only knows how many times on this podcast about Hursty's ability at this level, and unfortunately, we've sort of come to the conclusion that he's just not up to this level at the moment. And the more I see him at the moment, unfortunately, I think Freddie probably fits into that same category. I don't think he can do it at this level.
Sorry, go on. No, so
I think we lost you there, Ben.
Yeah, my computer.
Yeah, we lost you.
I was about to say on Freddie. Freddie's doing the things that last season and the start of this season, I was criticising him for. He's not holding the ball up. His touch is poor. He's being a bit greedy. He looks hard at it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I don't know whether he was one of the lads suffering with COVID and he's got aftermath of it because everyone knows it can affect you a few months after with the aftermath and stuff like that because it's a global pandemic. But
take it off your big cards, everybody.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit groin injury. I don't know if that's still affecting him. I know he had one a few weeks ago.
I think it might be his hip. Or his groin.
I think it was groin. But whatever, it was still an injury. He might still be carrying a little knock from that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I agree with you, Mick. Every time he comes on, I'm like, do you know what I mean? But who else are you going to bring on at the minute?
Yeah.
Who else are you going to bring on? So I agree with you.
I feel like
Freddie.
Yeah. I feel we're being really critical of Freddie. And I don't want to be. But it's just, I don't know. I've talked about it so many times. His decision making, even on Tuesday night when he came on for the last 3 or 4 minutes, whatever it was, virtually every decision he made, whether to go for the ball, whether not to, whether you know what I mean, it didn't seem to be the right decision. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I am being hypercritical of him. I don't know, but I'm just not. It's just not doing it for me at all at this level.
I don't think you are because it's, you know what I mean. I agree with you completely. I don't think we are because he's a professional footballer. He needs to sort these things out on himself.
He doesn't appear to be working on them, does he?
No, but we don't know that. Do you know what I mean?
Don't.
He could be working so much on them that he's bad now, but in 3 weeks he's Suarez or something. Do you know what I mean? You don't know, do you?
No, you don't know. No, absolutely.
No, absolutely. Right. But I completely agree. It's key. It feels very key that we do some business in the next week or so. On that, Billy Jones has departed. I would expect that's the last thing we see of him. I think he signed a contract until the end of this season, and he's on loan until the end of the season. Mick, I'm not disappointed to see him go. I think it's the right move for everybody. I don't think if it did a roll a couple of times, and that's fine, I suppose. But the question has to be asked, as it has to be asked with somebody else I can't think of. I'll think of it in a minute. Why did we re-sign him in the summer?
Yeah, I guess it was a numbers game. It was a numbers game, and also for that experience and having him around the squad. You don't know, dear, what sort of person he is in training and in and around the squad. He's a senior pro, so you can understand why a manager will want players and personalities like that around the squad, particularly bearing in mind how young our squad is. So I'm not sorry to see him go because I think we can do a lot better. He is clearly, and I'm sure he would admit this himself, probably past his best now, past his peak. And he's going on. He's going out to grass, and he's going back to where he started his career. And I really wish him the best of luck. But I think we probably can do better, and it frees up another space in that 25-man squad, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It frees up some options there. Ben, your thoughts on Billy Jones leaving?
I agree with you. I'll come back to that comment in a minute about Ersten Fredericks. But with Jones going out, I agree. I don't know if he signed him in summer, but I can understand it. It's COVID. 2020 was unpredictable year. You don't know what's going to happen, and look what's happened. Do you know what I mean? We had a COVID outbreak. It's been a national lockdown. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, this time at the start of the season, you didn't think this time it'd still be going on. Do you know what I mean? So I could sort of understand it, that little bit of hunch. Is that the word?
Hunch?
Something's going to happen. Yeah, like a hunch that something's going to happen. Like
an idea.
An idea that something's going to happen and preparing for it. Preparing for it.
You're
worse.
welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Mick. But yeah, it's worrying though because we still haven't brought anyone in. It's what the 24th of
24th
January. We haven't brought anyone in. We've let 2 people go, and we haven't brought anyone in. 2 people. We haven't brought anyone in. At the minute, obviously, Chio and Benny are coming back training. I think last week. We haven't got anyone to bring off at bench, attacking wise, at minute, until they come back. And if one of them gets injured and we don't sign anyone, we're stuffed. So
we are. Yeah, I completely agree. Ace Gestier's message saying it's Lewis Price that I was thinking of. He is the other guy that we signed on a contract, and then a month or two later he retired, basically. A couple of strange signings.
Yeah,
maybe they were in a way panic signings in terms of we'll just keep them and see what happens type of thing. But it feels all a bit like a waste of money, unfortunately.
Going back to Ace Gestier, obviously left another comment about. I totally agree about Freddie and Hurst, both League One standing at best. I agree. I said that at the start of the season. I think Freddie can be championship quality at times, but he needs the right development. And he ain't got a few years left to develop it. I don't know how old he is, or he's been around block a few years. 30,
I think they're all on nearly 30. I might be wrong on that.
He might need to go out on loan to League One. Because with Hurst, I think Hurst is League One. I think Hurst is League One, 27. Definitely. He's what?
27.
Yeah, I think he might need to go out on loan, League One, get some building time up like Icky did, and who else did? Who else has gone out on loan now? Who went out on loan? Who's out on loan now? It might be Till. It might have been Till. But whatever, he hasn't come back yet. But go out on loan, get some experience, get some playing time, develop. But he's been playing League One for years, so I don't know, actually. I think League One probably is his level. I agree.
Difficult one for him, isn't it?
Go on.
Because it's just we've talked about it so many times, and it's not the well. I'm going to say it's not the physical side of the game. It's not necessarily the physical side of the game that Freddie seems to be deficient in. It's the mental side of the game. It's his ability to read the game. It reminds me a little bit of somebody else, Danny Ward, who also didn't have that ability to read the game. However, physically, Danny Ward was much stronger and got involved a lot more physically. But for some reason, Freddie, I don't know, he's just wrong decisions too many times. Virtually every time he makes the wrong decisions. So I don't know whether that's something that he can train into somebody or not. I suspect probably not.
Yeah. Possibly you're right. At which point, so we're talking about transfers now. We'll come back to the Middlesbrough game in a bit, I suppose. But we're talking about transfers. At which point, say we get to the 30th of January and it's clear to Warner that nobody is coming in. At which point, Ben, is it time to say, Coyote, I know you're playing really well. I know you're playing the League 2 a lot, but we need you as a squad player. We need the extra striking option in the squad. For me, I would love to keep him there to end the season because I think he's clearly progressing and he's had interest in League One clubs. So he's clearly doing something right. But it's more important that we give ourselves the best option to stay up. And
I think if we don't sign anyone, I think it's really poor from the recruitment team. However, saying that, I've got faith in them. So they've obviously done it for a reason. If they do that, obviously it's 23rd, I think I said 24th. I think it's 24th.
Today, as we record.
As of recording, it's Sunday. Still no rumours. I ain't heard any rumours since that Andale, whatever his name is.
Nandale.
I ain't heard any rumours since him. So I think we do need to bring someone in. I think if it gets to the 30th, but I don't know. This is the problem because if Warren ain't got anyone on his mind about signing, you bring him back now. Unless whoever he's playing for has got in the game before end, bring him back as soon, get him as much playing time as possible, then bring him back. So yeah, I think he will, because I don't look like we're going to be signing anybody, which is a shame, but it's what it is, isn't it? They're doing it for a reason.
How important, Mick? For me, it's massively important. But how important do you think it is that we sign at least a couple of people this month?
We've got to, haven't we? We've got to, and listen. If we don't, I'm not going to start throwing my teddy out at cop because there will be a reason for it, and I expect it's what we talked about earlier on about clubs not really willing to let players go necessarily, or the better players. So it's going to be a problem for us though, because we don't have that strength in depth in terms of ability at this level. to really compete consistently. I think the first team that, as it is playing at the moment, with a couple of additions with like Sadly Benny and the like, and Sean McDonald, there are players that are good enough to come on and sort of seamlessly drop in, if you like, and aren't enough, and that potentially is going to be an issue. But like I say, it's going to be their last week frenzy, I reckon. Not necessarily for us, but just in general for this transfer window. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Let's hope some. There's rumours that Tilt's going back out on loan. I've seen Portsmouth. I've been linked with him. I've also seen reports that Clark might be leaving on loan, and another one. But again, I've not seen. I ain't got it to hand. Clark, it'd be good for Clark to go on loan. If he's not going to play, he needs to go somewhere. He needs to be playing games. That lad.
I don't understand why he's not. We need a left wing back. Now, if he has got a perfect position, if there's a perfect position for Trevor Clark, it's left wing back. You know what I mean? He absolutely he's got that position nailed for me. Yeah. I don't understand why he's not playing. I don't get it. He drops him in very occasionally, either off the bench or I think he might have started one or two games possibly. Yeah. But I don't think he's played a full game.
I doubt it
at any stage. I don't really understand what the problem with him is.
I agree completely.
Yeah. It's Guestic is another question. Thoughts on Flo? Comic.
No. I was just going to say good point, actually. Yeah.
I forgot about him.
Why
did he not be on bench?
He was on the bench.
Was he?
I assume so. I mean, I can check. I'll check that. But I suppose the question is supposedly staying with us. One is said that as far as they're concerned, all the loan players are staying with us, which includes Blackman and somebody else, Hurst. Is he better than Chio? No. Not in a million years.
No.
Is he better than Sadler? Probably not. No. So why we don't? You're right, Ben. Sorry, he wasn't on the bench. So well done.
Yeah, I was. Thank you. I don't know. That's a big point. I forgot about Flo, Joe. Where's he fit in the team, though? He don't fit in the team with this formation, but neither does Chio.
I think Chio and Sadler are worth changing the team for.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, is he keeping around for when Chio comes back? Because he can switch him about and stuff like that. That's probably my thing. Probably his thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. But I wonder if that takes away squad space. That's a slight worry. Is there something else we could do with his wages? Clearly, Derby need to get him off their books. Derby haven't sent him back because they can't afford him. They don't want to be helping their relegation rivals, so the only reason they will not claim him back is costs. So we're having to fork out X amount for another bench warmer, unfortunately. I spoke a couple of times to Derby podcast in relation to on run up to games, and they asked about Flo Jones, but they Derby fans are of the opinion that he's another one of these players that sort of flatters to deceive. He's clearly a talented lad, but only when he wants to be. Only every third Saturday of a month with a Y in it. You know what I mean? He's got the talent, but it's just not. He doesn't show it, does he? No, and I can't see him playing on Wednesday. Even if he's on bench, he'll not start against Middlesbrough. The chance of him coming out is pretty slim unless there's a change. Fingers crossed, touching wood, everything. There's always a chance that Chio and Sadler might make the squad on Wednesday.
I think they will make the squad. Even if it's just on bench.
Yeah, they were on grass on Thursday. I mean, Wednesday or Thursday they were back on grass. So they'll have almost a week.
I think they'll be,
which is it's a corny saying, but it's completely true. Them two are like a new signing. I can't wait to see Chio back in a football pitch. He just had a little bit of fun and that little bit of joy to the game. I just can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I suspect we might see them. We might see one or both of them on Wednesday night.
I hope we do. I really hope we do.
It's a bit of a cloud on the horizon for me, though. We're looking forward to having them two back, but how are we going to fit them into this formation that we are doing so well in? You know, I just it's the pessimist coming out of me, which is unusual, because I'm very optimistic most of the time, as you're both well aware.
Sure?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit of a worry. That's all. You know, how they're going to fit them in.
The thing is, I don't think they will, because at the start of the season, we were like, we're not going to. You predicted we were going to finish 6th, Nick. So,
I wondered how long it'd be before you brought that
up. But if you look at the players we had at the start of the season, it's worth changing the team. We're doing so well, are we though? We're 21st. We're 22nd. Yeah. We're not doing well. Do you know what I mean? I think it'll change formation, and I think we'll stay up easily. Provided they don't get injured again. You know what Chio's like, don't you? Have 3 good games and do his ACL somehow, even though he hasn't got one anymore.
Yeah, that would be typical. Well, that may be an issue for the Swansea game next week. I don't think Matt probably won't really start. Mick, have you done Ref Watch? Because if not, I've got some information for you.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Michael Salisbury is the referee.
Oh,
who's that? Is that the Swansea one last time?
Oh God.
It's not as bad as what you think, Mick. It's fine. It's not that bad. The last time he refereed us was against Wimbledon last year. He gave away a last-minute penalty when Ad Thompson fouled somebody. It was a clear and obvious foul. The time before that was against Bristol Rovers, where we lost 1-0. You're thinking of Graham Salisbury.
I'm thinking of Graham, aren't I? Yeah, you're right. I am thinking of Graham. So I'll take that head in hands back just for the moment.
But I'm not saying he's going to have a good game, but
he's a championship referee. He won't have a good game, will he? Let's be fair. Well,
yeah.
Look, you laugh, but they prove it time and time again, don't they? Every week, they're just unbelievable. I don't know whether anybody's watched or seen the Blackburn-Swansea game, Middlesbrough game from today. If you just have a look on Twitter you'll see the footage of the kick in the head on the Middlesbrough.
Former Miller.
Yeah, absolutely horrific challenge. Goes completely unpunished. It's just and anyway. Don't get me going. Don't get me started. We're coming towards the end of the podcast now. I don't want to talk about referees.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So there's no real history for Salisbury, which is good. Feels like every other week we get somebody who we've got a story about that is done something wrong or whatever else. So predictions. We'll start with Ben, because if I start with Ben, it gives him time to change his mind.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully no. If put something in chat and someone will change my mind. But no. I'm going 1-1. I think it'll be a scrappy game. I think it'll be 2 scrappy goals. It won't be a pretty game. I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay. Nick?
Oh, right. I think it should be a draw. I think we're going to come out of it with a draw. I genuinely do. I've got my fingers crossed as well. Obviously, they're not on a great run of form at the moment. No. We are on a decent run of form. Unbeaten in 2.
3.
3. Yeah. 4 if you anyway. 4 if you count FA Cup, because that we weren't beaten in that.
No, 3 including.
All right, then 3 including FA Cup. Whatever. We can't even get my facts straight, can I? So you're asking me for a prediction. I don't even know how many games it is since we last lost in the league. So I think I'm hoping that we can come away with a point. 3 would be unbelievable. We did it at Derby. There's no reason why we can't do it there.
Yeah, it's one of those games that we won't. For me, we won't win. We never beat a Warnock type team because they're too similar to us. I don't think we're as direct as a Warnock team, but they're sort of trying to impose themselves on the game, which won't suit us because they're probably slightly better at it, probably. And they've just lost, and Neil Warnock were fuming at full time because of that referee decision you just talked about, which means it's going to have a knock-on effect for the next game, which means his team's going to be right up for it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand is they've just played. They've just played on Sunday, and we've not played since last Tuesday, so we've got a week's break. It's Guesty thinks 2-1 to the Millers with a last-minute goal. I'd take that.
A past-minute goal.
Well, it's great.
I thought you meant last. Yeah. I'd take that and all. Every day of the week.
I'd like a comfortable. I'm going to keep saying this every week till we win 5-0. I just want a comfortable 2 to 3 goal win. If we can score 3 goals without the other team scoring 3 goals, that's what we should aim for.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out what's funniest about that. The fact that they think we're going to get a win, or they think we're going to go score 5.
You never. One day, you never know. One day it's or happen again.
Yeah. Could happen.
Yeah. So, thank you. I think that's it. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we?
No, unless anyone got any in chat what they want us to talk about.
No, nothing at a minute, mate. We are going to be doing almost certainly a post-match thing on Facebook, YouTube, and
pre-match.
No, post-match.
Post-match.
Because 7 o'clock kickoff.
Oh yeah,
it's early kickoff this week, so it's not the 7:45 as normal. So it's 7 o'clock kickoff. Yeah. So we will do a post-match. Because of kids and work and stuff, it has to be a post-match thing that we do. So get involved with that. Mick will schedule it in on Facebook and Twitter, so it sort of gives everybody a push reminder for that. We are on Sky over the next month. We are on Sky, I think, 3 times. Forest Wednesday and Bournemouth away. So we will certainly do some post-match, pre-match for those. More like pre-match because they're all midweek games. We're thinking about maybe doing some watch-alongs with them as well, because I know everybody hates Sky Sports commentators as much as I do. Well, the EFL ones, I quite like a lot of the Premier League ones are all right, but the EFL pundits and commentators are horrendous unless you spot Brentford.
Or Leeds.
Or unless you win Rooney.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think obviously if we do decide to do something, during the games for the Sky games, obviously the episode will be called Plucky Little Rotherham. Obviously. So, but so just watch out for that. If you do see that anywhere on Facebook, it'll probably be us.
More likely, yeah. So yes, thank you everybody for getting involved, watching, listening. We really appreciate all the interaction we're getting, and I hope you're enjoying it. Like I said, we'll do the post-match, and then next Saturday against Swansea, we'll be doing the pre-match and post-match, same way as well. As Ben says, if you think that we want to discuss, we'll do some videos on it, put it on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, because there'll be more stuff going on this week. Particularly with the transfer window coming to an end, we'll be doing quite a lot on any incomes and outgoings over the next this week, and it might up to a transfer window special as well next Monday, because it closes on the 1st of February. The transfer window.
Right.
So, Mick, have I missed anything out?
No. If we're going to do that, obviously, I need to get my big yellow tie out and practice my Scottish accent and go and stand outside New York Stadium with a microphone, don't I?
Does that mean Ben has to wear a yellow dress?
He can do if he wants to be in the studio.
There's always a man and a woman doing it on Transfer Special, so
yeah.
Depends what happens.
Well, only one in this podcast with her.
Fair enough. We have forgot to make your run. Let everybody know. Prostate Cancer UK Marathon quickly.
We're up to 23 miles just shy of 23 miles we've done now, so we've got 3 and a bit miles.
20. Oh yeah, 20.
So we've only got 3 miles left, and we've got a week to do it in. So we may end up doing a little bit more than the 26 miles. We're 30 quid shy of our target of 250 quid. So anybody that's listening, please, if you can donate, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you just go to the Facebook page, the post at the top of the page, click on the link there. Anything, 50p, don't care, whatever you can donate, it will be absolutely wonderful. It's for a fantastic cause. So hopefully next week, by next Sunday show, we will have done the full marathon. We might even do the last 3 miles down to New York Stadium by way of a bit of a laugh. Don't know. We'll see.
So you're gonna run down to New York Stadium, but then you have to run back.
Oh
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna go down in car and maybe run around it. I don't know.
But run around the stadium.
Yeah. If you can get there, might have to up some fences. Well, I might have to up some fences. Mick might have to watch my distance.
Cheers, mate. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So we're going to wrap up because we've gone very long this week. So thank you for listening. Get involved. We are on the email, Twitters. Our emails are ufcpod@gmail.com. So if you want to tell us to do something or whatever, ask us to do something, email us there. We're on Twitter, ufc_pod, Facebook, Rolling United Podcast. We are on Instagram as well, but Ben hasn't taken it over yet, so there's no action on there as we speak, but there will be at some point in the near future.
Definitely coming soon, especially with if we decide to do these watch-alongs. So let us know what you think if we want to do these watch-alongs, because if you can't watch it, like you said, there's not a lot of people that can watch it. So if you want us to watch it and do a watch-along, let us know and we'll do it.
Yeah. I agree. So we shall see you all on we'll see you on Wednesday after the game for what will hopefully be a celebration of 3 points on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And then the podcast will be out on Friday morning, which will do an more in-depth review of the Middlesbrough game, and we'll look ahead to an even more difficult game on Saturday, which will be Swansea at home. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thanks all for listening, watching, getting involved, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Cheers.